Decided to do a little bit of video about this, a little blast from the past of the Skil USA dial saw. You could order new teeth for it. This is a dial adjustable hole saw. And the idea how it works, we have a 3/4 inch or 19 millimeter nut, and what that does is that squishes these two halves together. You open this up, and then there's a track in here that interacts with little nubs on the back of the jaws. You can just see the nub right there. And then you can turn it, and the idea is that you can adjust the size to whatever you need, say 2 inches down to 1.5 inches. I did a little bit of lubrication, and what the big issue with this thing, besides it being, well, there's multiple issues, but the biggest one is it will draw the jaws in, but for some reason, no matter what kind of lubing I do, it is just about impossible to get them to open back up. You kind of have to press on the jaws, open it a little bit, unstick the jaws, open it a little bit, unstick all the jaws. An absolute nightmare to get it to open up. And I'll show you, I'm going to take this apart. The other issue, it uses like a little 3/16 pilot drill bit. Standard is 1/4 inch, and it appears to be just straight up press fit into the arbor, non-replaceable. Other issues, you just have 6 teeth. They do want to wear out pretty quickly. So before I get too lost, what ends up happening is once you do adjust it, then you just adjust this knob down. And what that does is squishes, there we go, squishes these two plates together onto the little feet, making these teeth relatively stable. The issue with this as a hole saw is it's really designed for extremely shallow, thin, like in cabinets or something like that. Because of course you just have this little tang here, which really can get bent very, very easily. We know it's low torque because it's just a little 1/4 inch smooth arbor, no flats or anything like that. But I thought it was an interesting design. It just doesn't work. It doesn't work very well, and it's actually particularly weak with just these 3 teeth. They probably should have had 4 teeth on it, something like that. And it's probably why I've never heard or seen one of these before until now. As far as opening this thing up, we actually have a easy remove clip here, and we'll go ahead and pop that out like so. And this is how you would end up replacing the teeth. I believe this, there we go, just allows it to open up enough where you can get the teeth out. And these are what the teeth look like. They're just stamped pieces of sheet metal. You can already see this one's bent, and it's just a binding. When you're trying to open it up, what it's doing is pushing this, trying to push the little jaw out, and it just causes way too much friction and it ends up just jamming. And so that's really the big issue. I don't know how you would take this the rest of the way apart. I assume it does. So this little thing will actually thread out. Just has an aluminum label on top of the back plate. But once again, that's just the issue. When you're trying to open it up, it ends up just wanting to bind really, really badly and just doesn't work. It just doesn't work very well at all. These indentations here just happen to be the little guides to try to guide it back and forth. And so once again, I thought it was an interesting idea from Skil. You can replace the bit. Now I've taken it all apart, there is actually a little set screw right there. So I did speak a little too soon. So they attempted to try to make it a decent tool. It is a proper hole saw center screw. Excuse me, center drill. Hole saws, center drills, and modern ones, you can buy modern replacement ones for hole saws, and they'll have stepped flats like this to really make sure that they don't twist and that they don't pull out and get stuck in the hole. So it's nice to see that. So it does have indeed a replaceable center drill with a absolutely tiny little grub screw there. Just too bad the way this thing is kind of designed. It just does not adjust very easily. And then these little teeth and the nature of a hole saw going down that slot and trying to run around, if you have to keep this super straight, because if you get off at an angle or something, these will just bend and warp all over the place. So once again, I can see why it's not a product that really took off for Skil. But once again, I did want to share a video because I never heard of something like this and thought it was kind of cool. Or at least a cool attempt from Skil to make something, you know, unique. Anyway, Really appreciate everybody who's been watching and subscribing, and if you haven't subscribed, please do. Till next time, Catus Maximus out.